the EQ here, stellar EQ. But in order to get to there, I had to do a couple things. I resurrected my old power supply, which is based for this product line. But then I went to get my little LED board working with my pots. And what this is I've modularized. There's push buttons for whatever mode you're entering. Right? Everything has a disable switch, and then on the SEQ, it's got relays that those push buttons are turning on and off. So the idea was to keep the circuit as close and tight together as possible on the actual audio path. But over on here, to have a control panel that was separate and distinct and easier to mount. The other thing that's good about this board is it actually is the same board for the interface for the mic pre. You just don't populate all the pots. And for the compressor, again, you don't populate all the pots. Same meter bridge across. So, long story short, what I'm getting to is a couple modifications to my original circuit. Obviously, oh, there we are. 2252 RMS converter, and that just gave me a nice smooth DC waveform from my AC input, presumably from my 1 volt AC input. And then I ran it just into a 3914 LED driver. So very simple, but it's always a simple fix. So right now that's giving me trouble. I determined that maybe in all the storage and abuse I had damaged the chip. So what I'm doing right now is changing that IC. So I'm going to video basically how you change one of these chips, because maybe that's something somebody wants to know. So after a little bit of back and forth here, I've got the camera literally wood clamped into place. So what I'm going to do is basically show you how I do this. To be honest, I've never done it on camera before, so this might be interesting. Tin 1 pad. It's a small amount, not much. This is an interesting package. So first thing, you always want to make sure you know where pin 1 is. On my circuit boards, I always take the pad and square the pin 1 pad. So here you can see the center pin. It's a really odd chip. The center pin on this package is the pin 1, and then you look over there, and there's a dot on that chip. That's what should line up. So I've just got the one to go to slide this guy in, but I want to make sure I've got a good grip on him. So I'm going to slide him into position. I just want to make sure he's centered, and I've got a little bit of pad to play with. Another thing I like to do too is elongate my pads so it's easier to do by hand. Okay, that looks a little better. It's not perfect, but it's good enough for our purposes. So then, now it's just a process of tacking the other corners. So I tin my tip a little bit, I get in there, and just melt a little solder onto the corner until he's wicked in, and I'll continue along my way. Much easier when the iPad's not in your way. Don't worry about a little too much, because we're going to clean it up in a second. And that's easier than it seems. With these pads that bend around, it's always tricky. Okay, I've got some bridges. That's not a big deal. Take your solder wick. I use some fine stuff. Absolutely buy the stuff with the flux installed. If it doesn't have it, soak it. You need flux for what I'm going to do. Now you just give it in there and wipe it across. And that should take out any shorts. And of course, if you're paranoid like I am, you can always beep it. But that wick, if it's doing its job, we'll pull that all out of there. You want to watch your heat. You don't want to put too much heat on there. We're going to give that a visual and a little beep. In the camera it actually looks okay. I think I see something here. For my beeper, I've got a Fluke 179 here. And what you want to get yourself, if you can find them, is tips this size. They're awesome. Little tiny needle tips. These happen to come with my meter. But they make short work out of this. So I'm just going to go pin to pin.
check for shorts. You want to remember too that sometimes these pins are internally shorted, so just don't get caught up if you find a short right away. I'm just waiting to hear the beep on this back side. Was the tricky side. So, whoop, there we go. Oh, looks like we have a short there. No. Before I get too carried away, I'm gonna take a closer look at that. So that solder is hiding up there in between those pins. I think we got it that time. Got it. Make sure I didn't do any more damage. Okay, good. And we're just going to check to see if that guy's secure, and he is. Alright. So that's that. That's how you change that package.